Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Tuesday, March 4th, 2025 pre-market report. All right, guys and girls, we need to understand what's happening, where we're going, and I think for the most part you already know, but things are accelerating with regard to this economic war. Make no mistake, this is a war. We are at war. War has casualties, and you personally are going to get hit by, unfortunately, the effect of what is about to happen. Now, listen, weeks ago, a couple weeks back, I put this out for you in my newsletter, free to everybody, link in the description of this video. This is a list of 9 items that you need to be aware of will likely, highly likely, be hit by supply chain disruptions as this war continues. And we haven't even seen the beginning of this yet. Over the next few weeks, we're going to experience a few things. Rising prices across the board. Now, I understand that U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is promising you that you're not going to feel an effect from the tariffs. This is an outright bold-faced lie. But again, in this environment where there is no accountability, no pushback, he will not be held to account for anything that comes out of his mouth. It's just the way it goes. Again, the Federal Reserve, if you recall, from as far back as you want to go, told you that inflation was going to be temporary. They told you it was going to be transitory. Well, that did not prove to be true, and we haven't even begun to see the effect of inflation. Forget about tariffs, okay? And again, no accountability. People have lost their spine, no backbone, no pushback, so they can do and say whatever they want. These kind of people. It's an incredible situation where people have allowed themselves to become marshmallows, lost their backbone, and this is not a good situation for us to be in. So I'm telling you straight out, what's coming out of the mouth of Scott Bessent you know, I'm just going to use the word, our illustrious Scott Bessent here, former George Soros protege. You don't believe that this guy is a former George Soros protege? You might want to look this up for yourself, maybe, okay, but whatever you want. The guy is a pathological liar, and I don't know another way to put it. So again, what are you going to do? You're going to listen to Scott Bessent? You believe what he's telling you is true. People, look, we're at war. We are at war, and people are going to suffer. That war has casualties. Period. That's where we're going. Anyway, this list, as I said, I want you, look, man, this isn't for me. And frankly, I don't know what to tell you. You can pay attention to this or not. It's up to you. Whatever you want to do. But I did this for you, not for me, again, so you guys and girls can see what is going to be affected. We are going to see. There's no doubt that we are going to see supply chain disruptions as this war escalates. Ain't getting better anytime soon, man. So just pay attention to this. Read through these 9 things I wrote and how this is going to affect you. All right? It's in your inbox right now if you subscribe to my newsletter. This is what's happening with the global debt market. Benchmark yields, the 10-year, across the board, lower. Look at the top U.S. 10-year yield. This is a massive effort to keep the stock market propped up, as you know that. Stock futures right now, lower across the board. Okay, lovely and fantastic. Imagine our shock with that. Gold and silver higher today. Now, I forgot to make a printout with regard to cryptocurrencies. We witnessed over this weekend, I think, the biggest pump and dump probably in the history of cryptocurrency. President Trump makes his announcement adding these 5 so far, there's going to be more, cryptocurrencies to the U.S. Reserve, Strategic Reserve. Who are the whales right now? Benefits from this right now. Again, anyone who holds crypto, I guess here. But the pump and dump scheme that was played on us this weekend here, obviously BlackRock, they must have made untold amounts of cash here. All these institutions like BlackRock have become the whales. And they can do whatever they want with this. How many of you actually believe that BlackRock was not made aware that this announcement was going to be made over the weekend here? You really are that naive, right? No. You all know it's true. But again, where's the accountability? Where's the pushback? It's nowhere. Spineless freaking things is what people have become. It's very unfortunate. And again, the mechanism allows people to get taken advantage of. It's just so disgusting to me what we're seeing here, people. It's crazy. Um, anyway, man, look, I want to say a few other things too. So we understand what we're seeing here. And I really want you guys and girls to, you guys and girls can do what you want with this information that I'm telling you. It's too easy to connect the dots. If we understand that we are in an economic war and there are casualties, on top of that, with the epic amount of people that are losing their jobs here on the federal level here, and I know a lot of you are all for it. You want to see these people eliminated. Okay. Do you not believe, honestly, that this is also going to have a ripple effect through the economy and you're going to pay for that? Or you think you're totally disconnected from that? I'm here to tell you that the world economy right now, which includes the United States, we're not an island among ourselves here, is going to suffer dramatically moving forward. And again, as I said yesterday, we got 6 months here in the United States for the real brunt to begin to hit us. If you think what you're seeing now is bad, if you think what you're going to see unfold over the next several weeks and months is bad, people, you have no idea what you're looking at, and you've drank the Kool-Aid. I don't understand what some of you are waiting for here. Prepare for, again, on the economic front, a worst case scenario. With regard to the stock market, if central banks are in here buying it all, okay, and we're seeing a mechanism like this here, we're dropping bond yields. What have you learned from Greg Mannarino? Cash seeks yield, cash seeks yield, cash seeks yield. All this is a mechanism in an attempt to keep the window open for cash to make its way into the stock market no matter what happens. One of the greatest calls I ever made, and those of you who have been with me long enough know this is true, when everybody was saying if they shut down the economy, the world stock markets were going to crash, I took the opposite side of that trade. I came out here publicly and I said, these were my words, are you ready for it? Get long COVID. Convid meaning I believed that the market would go higher. I got blasted. I got destroyed. I was called a fool. I was called out on practically every single financial YouTube website you could think about. Oh, Greg Mannarino is telling people that the market is going to go higher, even though they're going to shut down the world economy. Well, guess what happened? Yeah, I was probably one of the only ones who said that the market would go higher. And guess what happened? The market did go higher. The mechanism here of central banks buying it all, utilizing this as a mechanism to pump it. Let me tell you something else here, what's being set up. And I don't think this is by accident. This is really by design here. If we know we're in an economic war, do you not understand that we are? Economic war is war. There are casualties. You're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. Okay. All right. Well, with that, if we understand that the economy is going to again, suffer and continue to shrink, not just here in the United States, but around the entire world. As the middle class gets systematically eradicated like insects that are not wanted in a house or wherever it might be, you're being eliminated, you're being exterminated. What the Federal Reserve is going to do, along with other central banks, I know there's a lot of talk to the contrary, and we heard from bark, and some other freak yesterday that the Fed, we may not be cutting rates, we're going to have to look. What central banks want is to cut rates because it gives them a mechanism to inflate. So I'm here to tell you that ignore what you're hearing, because I'm saying that the setup here is too easy to understand. The economy of the world is going to continue to crumble here. Debts and deficits, hold that thought real quick, are going to balloon. All right. The trade deficit, what you're going to see here in the United States, is going to blow your mind. The top of your head is going to blow off. All right. With regard to exploding debt here in the United States, look, let me tell you what this whole thing with Doge is not going to do. Okay, in case you're thinking the contrary, save this video and see if Greg Mannarino is correct. You're going to see United States debt hyperballoon at a pace you're not going to believe. moving forward, along with the trade deficit, which is it's gonna be astronomical moving forward. And we were told tariffs were gonna stop these things. It's not true. And now these tit for tat tariffs, again, it's in net zero. You understand? So when we were told all the nonsense during the campaign trail, how inflation was gonna come down from day one, and we're gonna be the economic powerhouse of the world. In case you don't know, the United States is now becoming more and more and more and more isolated. On top of that, the world is turning their back on the dollar. The world is turning their back on our products as well. Okay, the United States today is seriously in decline with regard to being a world leader, and this is not a politics issue. I don't belong to any party at all. None. Zero. No party affiliation. That's Greg Mannarino. Just in case you were wondering. So I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the way it is. And if you can't see it, then that's on you, man. Anyway, look. The situation is that the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates moving forward, which is going to do what? Artificially suppressed rates is a mechanism to destroy the purchasing power of the currency. I believe everything that we're seeing here is probably a grander plan to allow, in this case, the Federal Reserve to inflate even further. This whole issue with the Maralago Accord, the name is very disturbing to me. If it were called the XYZ Accord, the word accord there makes it seem like it's some kind of an agreement. No. All this is the Maralago Accord, and I've told you this. I did a whole paper on this. I put out videos about this. It's a debt restructuring scheme, which is going to offer foreign investors, or maybe even force foreign investors to swap out the debt that they have now for these 100-year bonds, which pay no interest. Again, there's a mechanism here to allow the debt to inflate, and us not having to pay back the debt that we owe. It's a Ponzi. It's some kind of scheme on a grand scale, but where's the pushback? Are people speaking out against it? Nope. Silence. Zero. You know how their playbook works. They don't use the same book that we do. You know what this book is? See what I'm doing here? You know what that book is? I think you guys know. Their playbook dictates they have to tell you what they do or going to do before they do it. And then they wait to see if they get any pushback. Like Besant here, telling you that you're not going to feel anything with regard to tariffs. Don't worry about it. It's not going to hit you. That's their playbook. It's all full of lies, deceptions, and deceit. You want to follow that playbook? It's devilism. It's freaking devilism to the highest possible order, people. If you don't, wake up, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Wake the freak up, and maybe at one point you'll start to understand why you're in the position that you're in and what's about to happen to you. It's all part of this devilism thing, man. The lies, the deceptions, the look here, the distractions. Look, after seeing this video, I want to find out if you're more or less awake than you were prior to watching this video. Let me know, because I'm really curious about this, honestly. People, we are at war. We are at war, and you are going to be a casualty of this issue with these federal jobs that are being lost. These are real people. You have to understand. A lot of them, you may think these are just a woke crowd over there. No, many of these people were Trump voters. They're conservative Republicans. They're being destroyed. Oh, here. And you too, your job, I don't care what you do, is at risk as the economy crumbles, not just here, but around the world. This has to be the common denominator. Again, you always have to look for the common denominator. The common denominator here is if we're all in the same boat together around this world, and world leaders are now working together to destroy us all, okay, via the mechanism of tariffs and exploding debts and deficits and everything else here. Again, this is war. You have to say, what's actually going on here? Are we literally being thrust into a new system here? What's going on? And once you sit back and you evaluate the elements that are in place, you'll see that what we're seeing, this is no accident. I've been telling you guys this for years. This is no comedy of errors that got us here. This is all deliberate. And in my opinion, people, it's about extorting, and I'm using this word on purpose, extorting control out of we, the freaking people who have lost their backbone, who have lost their spine, who hold no one to account. Does this sound right to you, what I'm saying here? Or is Greg just completely out there and needs to make a tinfoil hat and put it on? Let me understand what I've gotten wrong here. All right? Let's work together on this, honestly. Greg, you're right here. Greg, you're wrong here. What am I saying? That doesn't ring true in your ears. Let me explain this to maybe another way, people. I answer to God only. Every word I say is, in my opinion, divinely inspired. I pray every day for the ability to offer all of you truth. And I think people know the truth when they hear it. What you're seeing here in the entire geopolitical spectrum, this is devilism, people. It's freaking devilism. When are you going to wake up? I really have to know that. All right, guys and girls, I love you with all I got. I mean that. I want to hear from you. I really do. And if you got something out of this video, if I have earned, and only if I have earned your thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Let's get this stuff out there. All my videos are being shadow banned in case you don't know that. And I know that by looking, I can look at the statistics of each video, and the impressions have fallen off the cliff as of late, which means these videos are not being made available widely. That's where you come in. You want to change that? That means you need to share it. If the algorithms aren't going to share the videos, even if you comment or give the videos a thumbs up, which does help, it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys and girls. Greg, you're saying the right thing and people need to understand this. Well, then share the video. I'm calling on you to do that. If you're part of my team here, part of God's team, in my opinion here, share this stuff. Get it out there. Let people hear the truth because people know the truth when they hear it. Love you all. I'll see you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Okay, until we meet again, people, please take care of yourselves and take care of each other.